So the bulls seem to be back with BTC. BTC's trading at 71K, and these meme coins have come alive again. We've seen Doge explode. I've seen things like Pepe moving, Bonk, all these types of things. So the timing is perfect for you guys, because today I'm looking at what is potentially the new Doge that is coming here. I've got a special guest in the house. He's waiting in the back. He's got a big reveal, and he's got 4 other big meme coins that he's playing around with that he's going to talk about. But before we get to that, guys, I've got a lot of things for you. Number one is I've got updates on some trades yesterday, Fetch, Ocean. Then I've got an update on CAS and AVAX for you. I've got a file trade that I'm looking at. It's a spot position, but I think it's time to start laddering into some Filecoin, believe it or not. So we got a lot to talk about here. And also notable, dominance is pushing up. We got a major event tomorrow in the US. We got the options. There's all sorts of things happening. So let's get into this and let's figure out what is going to be our plan in the next 24 hours. Unreal how Elon Musk controls the market. We're going to talk a little bit more about this just now, but I mean, the guy retweeted a little post and Doge starts pumping, and what happens? Floki goes, Bonk goes, all these things, everyone going, the bulls are back, BTC is pumping 71K and as you were, and it's basically meme time once again. So we got a couple of special tokens here in the bag, and I also want you guys to fill in the poll there in the chats that I've put on there. So look in the chats. I have a little poll running. We're going to take a look there shortly and just see what your sentiment is on some of these meme coins. Right, BTC. This is BTC on the 2 hour that I've moved into here for today, just to try and dial in a little bit closer and look at some key levels, because we all know right now the big number that we all watching, and you're going to see this one all over Twitter as well. The big number the bulls want to see holding here for BTC is going to be the 68,800 level. This is now a huge area. You can see we've got a nice little 618 fib here tied in, as well as some horizontals and these types of things. So this is a big area here for us, 68,800. That's the main one. So if they start bleeding us out and they're giving us pullbacks and all these things, we don't have to get too stressed until we start closing under the 68,800. So I'm watching that one very closely at the moment, and then a little bit lower down, 68,000. So these are 2 big areas for me. These are 2 zones where I would expect some kind of reaction if we start dropping into these areas. This is where we're going to be looking for longs and things like that, especially if your sentiment overall is going to be bullish. These are the types of areas that you want to be looking at to catch some bounce longs. Then shorter term pullbacks, little teasers that they could give us quite easily. You need to mark these levels on your chart, 70,400. And the next one is going to be 69,600. So mark these levels on your chart. You can see these are reaction zones. These are potential areas that we could get bounces on for any pullbacks into these zones. So I'm looking for something along these lines if they are going to try and bleed us out a little bit. And then upside, you can see what we've got going on right now. We're into a resistance band, the 71,400. You can see this is a big resistance zone here for us. So what is our plan here? Well, we need to be a little bit patient, but it would be nice if we could get a little squeeze into this zone, a little ping into some horizontal there, then that little rejection, and then the bulls can step in for us, and then we'll just take out all-time highs. You know, keep it very simple here, just trying to take out all-time highs in the next 2 or 3 days. I mean, I think that's a fair plan. And I mean, Ray's even got his special goggles on there. He's convinced it's going to be coming here. I mean, look at this. He's all AI'd out. He's ready for us. So there's a lot happening here in the back as well. I've got a special guest hiding in the back here, and we're going to get to him shortly. So just get ready, okay? We're going memes here, and he's got a few tips and tricks for you guys as well as to how he goes about buying his memes and doing all these types of things. So stick around here, and he's going to give you some great info. Okay, what's happening in the news? Well, I just enjoyed this Bitcoin archive telling us BTC has closed over $60,000 for 28 days in a row. I mean, just enjoy this moment, enjoy the feeling. And I mean, it's actually unreal what is going on. And I was looking at the 3-month historical returns here on BTC, and we're actually almost, I would say, we're in better condition or equal to 2021. Let's look at these numbers here. We are very close to these 2021 bull run numbers on Bitcoin monthly returns. So, I mean, if you don't think we're in a bull market now, I don't know what else to tell you. These things are absolutely ripping at the moment. So this is a nice chart to watch, this coin glass. And then the big news for tomorrow, and I know Uncle Run has spoken about this one too. We've got a massive move coming. They're saying BTC and ETH could witness upside volatility here as $15 billion worth of options expire tomorrow. So there's a lot going on in the markets, and the guys are expecting some kind of push higher. They're expecting this options expiry to result in a push to the upside. So we need to just pay attention. We could get some bullish moves here in the next couple of days. We could have a green weekend teed up for us here. So just pay attention to your charts. And that is why we need to watch these Bitcoin levels so closely that I've given you, because a typical trick here would be to bleed you out into some of these key levels where you can tee up those longs and then take advantage of what's going to be happening in the next 24 hours or so. So pay attention to that. And then crypto 𝗪𝗓, telling us we'll have a quarterly close in the next 3 days. If it closes like this, we'll reach our target sooner than we think. And his target box, 120K, is bang in the middle of his target box. So the bulls are back all of a sudden. It felt like we had a bear market just the other day. We had Jerome Powell saving us from ourselves basically and pumping the market, and the bulls are back just like that. The bears disappeared so quickly, and we've got some positive ETF things happening, and everything is looking, bulls are on track. Everything's back on track. We got Larry Pink, or some people actually call him Larry Fink, but we call him Larry Pink in these parts, and he's super confident on his ETH ETF. And he had an interesting interview yesterday and had some great comments about the BTC ETF as well. But there was a key comment here that he made for us. And number one, he says, despite concerns over a possible designation of Ethereum as a security by the US Securities and Exchange Commission, Fink expressed confidence in the feasibility of launching the ETF. He basically brushed it off, saying it's not that important whether they think it's a security or not. He didn't seem to think it was such a big deal. And I know the market's been making a big deal about this thing being called a security and kicking the can down the road and this ETF never getting approved. But if you got Larry Pink telling everybody that he doesn't think it's a big deal, well, maybe he knows something that we don't. So pay attention to that. Okay, and then I dropped a little tweet yesterday asking you guys, there's a little poll. So follow me on Twitter @TheLordOfEntry. Okay, and engage with me here on Twitter. You can see I've got a lot going on here for you guys, and I've really upped my game. But answer my poll here, because you guys are looking so bearish on this ETH ETF. 62% said it's not happening in May. So jump in there. Let me know your thoughts. Go and vote on my poll. We got 3 hours left to vote, so please let me know. I want to see how bearish the people are that follow me, but at the moment it looks like they're super bearish on ETH here in the current situation. And then here was our future liquidation heat map. I just want to reset this. It's good to reset this every couple of minutes. And this is now just a different perspective on the heat map that I'm looking at. And you can see what's going on here. The 50x leverage guys, the 100x leverage guys, you can see to the upside. If we are going to push this a little bit to the upside, we've got a nice little level here for BTC. If they want to come rinse out the bears, we're looking at about 72,800 as a nice little upside target here for the market makers, that they can come and just squeeze you out. And then lower down, we do have a few longs piling up here, so we just need to be aware of this, that there's a big cluster here all the way down to 67K. So I don't want to bring total bear vibes to the party here, but remember this 67K, we start looking at this region lower down here where I've drawn this circle. This is that region you're going to be looking at if they want to come and flush the guys out to the downside. So just make a note on your charts, just keep these guys, keep this in mind. And then number two, Bitcoin dominance on the weekly. Look at this candle. This is not a good look here for the altcoins. Okay, it's fine. It's a good look if Bitcoin is pumping. That's it's not the worst type of situation. So we just got to monitor this. But if this dominance is pushing up while Bitcoin is flat or dumping, then we know, altcoin traders, you are feeling the heat, you are feeling the burn. So what am I looking for here now? I'm looking for a rejection in this weekly band, and then I want to push this thing lower down. So that is my first prize. That is what I'm looking for. We're pushing up into a weekly resistance zone. If we crack this weekly resistance zone, we know that this is a huge area, okay? So if we blow this zone, then we start looking a lot higher. And that's going to take us to this 57% region. And that is going to hurt. That is going to hurt the altcoin traders. I would say, unless this is BTC now pushing up to 75K, 80K, that type of thing, then, we can deal with it. We can deal with dominance pushing up fast. So just monitor the situation here. If BTC is dumping and this dominance is pumping, altcoin traders, make sure your stops are in place. Make sure you are using risk management, because there's a deep burn coming if the cards don't fall in our favor. Okay, I've got a couple of things that I want to give you guys, but firstly, who is in the chats now? Oh, do we have meme traders here in the chats, or do I have my locals as well? Because I'm trying to get my locals to get more into memes as well. And I see the guys here in the chat here shouting "baby bonk" at me. And yeah, I've got an update for you. We did baby bonk 2 weeks ago, and there's a Lambo giveaway that these guys are doing, and all sorts of things. So I'm going to update you guys there. And let's see. Where's my people? I got Thomas shouting "Smurf-cat," and Thomas is a VIP. Thomas gave me this bull. Thomas made me that bull sound. So when he shouts Smurf-cat, he's going to get it. We'll crack the whip for that as well. So let's see who else is here. Now, you guys are all memeing me now. Where's my people? Where's my people? Okay, we'll get back to the chats just now when I can dig you guys out of my chats. Okay, let's look at the current ETH situation. So if you are bullish on ETH and you're liking this Larry Pink news and all these things going on here, what am I watching for ETH as support? 3,300. Nothing has changed here. This is a huge area for me for ETH traders. This is your mark in the sand here. This is what you're watching. It's the 50-day moving average. It's weekly candles, and it's the 236 fib. So these are all huge areas telling us that 3,300 is a nice comfortable zone for any ETH pullbacks. It's a nice zone for any ETH buys and things like that. So keep your eyes on 3,300. I'm not going to dive in too much deeper into ETH. Then a quick little update on CAS. We are still in the same zone as yesterday. So yesterday I gave you this entry zone number 1 for CAS, and I explained to you in detail why I thought this was a good zone. So nothing has changed here for CAS. So far, so good. It is now above the entry zone. So ideally, you want to be buying CAS on any weakness into this trend and into this band over here. So maybe look for a little bit more weakness if you didn't get this entry. That is your first zone. And then an update on your next level. Nothing has changed here for your next level. Your next bounce zone for CAS 0.115. That is your next potential zone of interest. And these are areas where you're buying on any weakness. If you have conviction that this market is net up and they're trying to flush you out with a BTC pullback, make sure you're buying these altcoins on some solid zones and some solid areas. And these are 2 absolute bangers for you right here on any BTC pullback. So watch those zones. I still think CAS has some legs there. Okay, and then look at this guy. I gave you Fetch yesterday. We gave you this 382 bullish pullback zone. And look what they've given us here with Fetch. This AI stuff, we knew this news on AI was going to be bullish for Ocean, Fetch, and Singularity. And look how they came back and they just pinged this so beautifully at this 382 zone. Horizontals in play, and Fetch is off to the races again. So anyone who got Fetch, well done to you guys. The target that I've got locked and loaded here is unchanged, 3.7. That is what I'm looking at, 3.7 for Fetch. So make sure if we do ping this 3.7 zone, make sure you are taking something off the table there, guys. And you will obviously tackle the next level, which is going to be the 2.618. And that is around about 4.6. But baby steps here. Step number 1, let's take out 3.7, and then we go from there. Let's do an Ocean update. And this is also just playing out to perfection at the moment. So Ocean actually front ran this huge zone that I highlighted yesterday, the 618, when they started dumping us back. And they gave us the 0.5 fib that we use it's not actually a fib, but they gave us the 0.5. And you can see it tied in beautifully here with these horizontals as well. Gave you a little bounce. And what have they done now today? They've broken the 382 and they've retested it as support. I mean, look at this. It's to the absolute dollar on this 382. Look at this perfection, how they've come back. I'm just zooming in here for you guys. If you still don't use FIDs as part of your trading strategy, I really recommend that you get this on your chart. So here we go, a nice little 382 bounce here for Ocean, and we're off to the races. So what am I watching now for Ocean? Support wise, my marker now 1.4. That is my support marker that I'm going to keep my eyes on. And then my next level that you got to watch if there is weakness, 1.32. So both of these areas are strong zones now. Both of these areas are areas where you can look for potential buys on any weakness here for Ocean. So it's 1.4 and 1.32. Okay, let's close that tab. Okay, and then for the regular guys, the guys that aren't trading AI, the guys that are sitting in AVAX, I mean, I'm sitting in AVAX position. I've been in AVAX for probably 3 or 4 weeks now, and this is my current plan on 𝗦𝗥𝗓. So I'm just playing the waiting game. You can see we've been ranging now for quite a few days on 𝗦𝗥𝗓, so nothing too exciting, just a little bit of up, down, up, down. So 𝗦𝗥𝗓 traders, if you're watching what's going on here, your main support that you're going to play around with is anything around 52 to about 53. That is a nice juicy zone. You can see why this makes sense. Look how they're buying it up off these areas, and no coincidence that this major zone is also a 382 pull. Look how they're holding this zone so nicely. So keep your eyes on that for 𝗦𝗥𝗓. Any upside, you've got to be taking profits and just, de-risking a little bit, or raising your raising your stops, things like that, at around about 58. That is what you're going to be watching for 𝗦𝗥𝗓. So if we do get weakness into this region, that's an area for buying and for adding to positions and things like that. That is what you're going to be looking at. And then a short little ride to resistance at around about 58. And then once we crack that, if things turn super bullish, well, then we'll deal with 64 again if we have to. So right now, big support that you want to watch here, 52 to 53. That's a nice little area there for 𝗦𝗥𝗓 traders. And then we had a live Zoom today, Sheldon and I, on the Sniper Club, and we were actually talking around this Filecoin. And Sheldon and I both agreed that there's a lot in the tank for Filecoin. We can't forget about this token, because we know this thing blows up at the least expected time. And so Filecoin, I'm watching closely. I've started laddering into a Filecoin position here. I'm eyeing out 16 as my target here on the weekly. And what I like about Filecoin right now is areas of support. Number one, I've got some weekly tie in here on these weekly candles. You can see I've got some hot supports here for Filecoin. We've got loads of weekly touches here. What is that telling me? That's telling me this is a nice, strong weekly support area. And sometimes it takes a lot of work to break those zones. Then what else do I have? I've got a 382 fib pool holding me up from a weekly pool. This is a major area. And then I've got the 50-day moving average pushing up as well. So I've got multiple reasons here why Filecoin's got good support at 8.3, and the upside target for me is going to be 16. So I'm busy laddering into this at the moment. Any weakness on Filecoin down to this 50-day moving average, I'm adding to my position. I think this is going to be a nice little free move for us if we can hold the support. So that is my eyes. That is my eyes on Filecoin, and I think it's time to start getting involved. Then obviously if we start losing the 50-day MA, then we start looking at areas lower down. We start tackling that. But let's first test this 50-day MA and see what happens there. So that is the plan for Filecoin. Okay, I see some of my people are filtering out here between these meme coin degens shouting hammy at me, and they abusing me in here with these meme coins. Okay. I can't even find my people in the chat. I need to give up. Okay, let's bring in a special guest here. Okay, so this guy, we found him. I wouldn't say we found him in the depths of the internet, but he's got a vibe on Twitter, and I think he's got a bit of a name on Twitter, and he's got a good reputation out there, and he's been involved in a lot of these projects. And well, I mean, let's not delay it. But what he does is he calls himself, I want to read this because it sounds so good. He calls himself the meme evangelist, and he's focused on education and hunting gems. Okay, so basically he wants to help you guys. He wants to make you guys better meme coin traders. Here's the legend, 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. Or Dylan, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So you're sitting in Atlanta trading meme coins.
Atlanta, Georgia, but I'll trade them wherever you want. Wherever it doesn't matter.
So tell us what is a meme evangelist?
So I coined that term because there's so many people out there that they follow alpha callers, and there's paid influencers, and I do none of those things. I literally buy what I like. I go and offer the teams help because I've had marketing companies in Web3. I have resources, to exchanges and market makers and all these things. And I literally just love to deep dive into these things and trade them, pretty full time. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, it's good to have you on the show. I was telling them last week I was bringing you on because we really want. I mean, some of the guys are a bit lost. They're trying to trade these meme coins and they don't know what to buy. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to ladder in. They don't know anything like this. So I think you were the perfect guy to give a little bit of an education. So we're going to start. I'm going to actually just bring up your Twitter profile quickly so everybody can give you a follow and see who we're actually talking about. This is the man. And I mean, this car on the back here looks familiar.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that for sure.
Okay, we'll get to that card just now. So step number one, Okay, let's deal with what is popping today. And what is popping today is Doge. So I just want to bring up this Doge situation and deal with the current chart. So I know there's Doge traders out there. It feels like trading Doge, I don't know, it's like the dustiest, oldest meme coin in history. And we just keep gravitating back to this.
It's nostalgia, man. I mean, it brings us back to, what if I had just held that Doge, an extra day before it popped off.
The worst feeling. It's the absolute worst feeling. It's the worst feeling. I often say, exiting a trade too early, it hurts more than getting stopped out. Or,
I think the art of the moon bag is coming back.
Oh, it's painful. Anyway, this is for those of you wondering why Doge is pumping. Well, it's pumping for a number of reasons, but this is one of them. So we got Elon Musk sharing his Doge designer tweet, okay, and then the market goes crazy. It says, this Doge designer here just showed a rocket blowing up, and Elon tweets it with a laughing face, and what happens? It starts blowing up.
Yeah, and he's also referenced, vaguely, with some ties to a tweet where he basically is saying, look out for potentially a new payment system on X, right? He referred to his old PayPal, saying the circle will be completed. So that's got a lot of people speculating about, obviously, Doge. And we now know that people get paid for monetization. They can monetize their content. So will he pay you in Doge? I don't know.
Yeah, but I just keep wondering how does that affect the price? Other than it's just people getting excited and speculating. But look, that's another debate, I suppose. But they just love buying this hype.
Yeah, we're in the spec zone right now. Don't worry about details.
Okay, so guys, those of you, do you trade charts, Spoon?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you? Okay.
I don't know how you couldn't use a chart to trade these things.
So,
yeah.
do you trade fibs and things like that?
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Okay, nice. A fellow Fibonaccics professor.
I like to call them my fettuccine lines.
Oh, good. Well, we call it Fibonaccics in this house. I call myself a Fibonaccics professor. Okay, so let's deal with Doge. So yesterday I had the guys shouting at me in the chat saying Doge. So we looked at it briefly, and we could see there was going to be something going on here with Doge. We could see there was interest, and it was pushing this little resistance band here, and we had a nice little trend break and all these types of things going on. So Doge traders, the first thing you want to do now, once this thing is popped, the first thing you want to identify is potential zones of support, potential pullback zones, potential zones where you can get involved. If you are bullish now on Doge continuing this move, okay? So let's assume there's more to Doge than Elon laughing at his tweet today, and that there might be some continuation here. So let's say BTC starts pumping and the market starts moving up. What does that mean for us? It means let's grab an entry on Doge. Maybe we can catch a ride. So the first thing I want to do is just identify some big support and big areas of interest. Where can we get potential buys here if we do get a pullback? And I'm going to talk to you just now about this line where you can see it's rejecting right now. I'm going to tell you guys about that shortly. But first area of interest, number one for me on Doge, 0.202. You can see this is a nice little tie in. Remember, this is our most bullish fib. This 236 is our most bullish fib. This is an aggressive move. This is where we're trying to scalp little moves here on little pullbacks. So that is our first region now that we're going to watch, 0.202. And then I've got an absolute banger here. This is huge now for Doge, this 0.188. This is now a massive area for Doge traders. If you got an entry underneath this zone, that is where you got a great entry now. If the things are going to stay bullish here, you've got a guard mode entry, and that's going to be your support marker now going forward. And if you are adding to your position and things like that, make sure that you are keeping your stops underneath these big areas of interest. The last thing you want to see is a situation where they send it back a little bit and you have a stop above one of these big zones, and they come and they take your stop and then they just send it up. It's also the most painful thing. So if you are trading Doge, one more thing here, I'm going to give you two areas of interest for you where you can put your stops and things like that. You want to be under these big zones, not above these big zones. So if you want to go under this first one, it's 0.197. If you want to go under the second one, it's 0.182. So these are both areas there where if we start losing those, then you're potentially looking at the next level. But if we're going to remain bullish here, I'm looking for pullbacks on these levels. Mickey says fabulous levels. I like it when people talk fibs. I actually get excited. I'm like obsessed with these fibs, Spoon.
You should start a club, like a fib club.
Yeah, well, this is it. You must hang out with us. This is fibs all day.
I'm all for it.
All day. So let me zoom out on the weekly. I'm going to show you why Doge reacted there. Okay, I mean, it's fascinating. For those of you that don't trade with fibs, you've got to get on your charts. Look what it's reacting on. So all I've done here is I pulled a fib from the absolute high of Doge. This was in 2021, May 2021. I pulled a fib from the absolute high to the absolute lows, and I looked for reaction zones, areas of interest. Where can we get a reaction on Doge? And you can see that white line that I highlighted for you is a 236 fib, and it makes sense that it's going to react in that area. And then on top of that, we've also got some weekly confluence here. So this is a huge area for Doge. You need to understand, if Doge is going to blow this level, we are opening up a major move here on Doge. We are looking at another 45% play at least to the 0.3 level. So eyes on Doge. If you're looking for entries, this is where you need to be hunting at the moment, because if we blow this weekly, we're moving most likely to our next fib region. So, I mean, 45% spoon on a meme coin is not great though, is it? We can do way better.
Listen, our legacy, you can't throw shade at our legacy memes. People still love to trade them, and you can always leverage trade them if you want those extra percentages. You don't have to spot.
Yeah, look, I mean, the chart tells us certain things, and the chart looks okay, I suppose. So, okay, look, we trade it. If it gives, let's not even talk about XRP though. Do you ever look at that thing?
What about Litecoin? You want some tips on Litecoin?
You know what surprised me? I mean, I saw BCH pumping yesterday. I couldn't believe my eyes. I didn't know.
It's always so random too. It's always so random. Yeah,
so random. It kills me. Okay, so guys, Doge. We've dealt with Doge. You know the story. You know your targets. You know your levels. And let's move on to the next. I want to update you guys. Okay, so on my show 2 weeks ago, we spoke about two of these meme coins. One of them was 𝗪𝗧𝗀. Okay, so we wanted to update that. I gave you guys entry zones and things like that on 𝗪𝗧𝗀. So this is the old Russian meme coin. The community took over. It was a rug. And in fact, Spoon, you must know about this one.
Oh yeah, it was an OG in the 𝗕𝗢𝗖𝗓. It came to Solana. The old community takeover. Yeah.
And look, the community took this thing from something like a $12,000 market cap to something like 10 million. So there's now like a solid base around these guys.
Yeah, don't mess with the cult communities.
Yeah, I mean, we've noticed that they seem to just pump these things, and it never ends. I mean, it's like that car of yours. We need to talk. Okay, let's just look at the 𝗪𝗧𝗀 chart. So we are basically at entry again. So where we were looking at this one, we were somewhere in this region here for 𝗪𝗧𝗀. It was around about that last show that I did. I think it was the 15th of March. So we were on support that day, and it's been bouncing around. So we back at the entry zone here for 𝗪𝗧𝗀. So now I'm waiting for a little bit more downside here. I want to look and see what happens for 𝗪𝗧𝗀 at these levels here. Number one, I've got 0.02949, and number two, this is the big one for me. This is where I'm adding to my bags here. 0.0022. This is where I'm buying. This is going to be a trend. This is going to be a 786 horizontal. There's a lot of reasons why that's a nice juicy zone for me. So I'm just going to be a little bit patient here for the 𝗪𝗧𝗀. I think we can get it lower, and by the time it gets there, that market cap's going to be nice and low, and this could be a nice little one to grab. So mark this one on your charts for 𝗪𝗧𝗀. Get some kind of alarm going, or you can't set alarms on Dex Screener, or what is this, Dex Tools. So for me, 0.0023. That's a nice little hot area. You can see it's a juicy zone. That's where, for me, I'm going to get my move. Do you agree with the Fibonacci?
Adds up. I mean, for me,
Adds up.
When you see these formations, right, especially after their first leg and the blow off top, or maybe they have a double top, this is where the money's made. Everybody talks a big game, like, oh man, I wish I was in early on these things. Well, if you don't have the gumption to buy the bottoms, that's where it's made.
Well, that's the classic story. When it's red, everyone runs away. You must see what happens when the market's red.
Everybody talks a big game, but then after a 97% retrace, they don't want to buy, right?
My best is when everyone says no, they wish BTC could go back to 52K, and then it gets there and nobody wants to buy it.
Yeah, and with meme tokens, it's when they say it's dead, that's when I'm buying.
So guys, that's I think Gustavo's got a nice little rule as well. It must have been rugged, and he wants this thing flat, and then they get involved with some of these memes. Okay, so there's 𝗪𝗧𝗀, so no changes there. Then the other big one for me was Baby Bonk. And geez, we actually had a beautiful entry on this Baby Bonk. We got our second level that we nailed. So I'm going to show you guys that now. Don't forget, Baby Bonk, there's a Lamborghini giveaway, like an actual giveaway that they're doing, but you need to own these tokens in a DEX. So you can't go and buy them on a normal exchange. You got to buy them through like MetaMask, or it's BSC on MetaMask. You got to own them through a DEX, and then you can stand a chance to win a Lambo. But there's more to these guys. I mean, they're really putting an effort into what they're doing here. They've launched this game. Okay, so this game is now coming out. I think it's coming out next week. So I'm prepped for this game. It's basically a card fighting game, and these are the NFTs now that I've bought, and these are my characters. So as soon as this game's launched, I'm going to go and get somebody to play with. Spoon, maybe you can battle with me.
What's your favorite character here?
See, Ray likes this stuff. I'm liking Tank on the right here. He's looking quite badass here with his green tights, with his green outfit, his baseball bat. So we'll see, but Ray's in, and let's play. Let's see how this goes. We can maybe play it live on the show when it is.
I like this. What I don't like is when these tokens try to become a kitchen sink, and they try to do these either overcomplicated games and stuff like this. But this kind of stuff, a card game, something that's simple, that's I like that.
Exactly. We don't have to overcomplicate.
They're not trying to be a AAA studio here. You know.
We're a fucking meme coin. Let's keep it like meme and keep it fun and simple. And I think they're nailing it. So, it's a classic meme vibe. Giving away a Lambo, creating
very 2021 vibes. Yeah.
So there you go, guys. Get some Baby Bonk and look at this. So we drew this chart up for you on my last show, and we were looking for two hot entry zones. There were two levels that I was watching at the time. Number one was this first region here. You can see it failed, and then they dipped down to our region 2. This was the 786 and horizontal. This for me was a big zone for us. We had tie in with some big horizontals there, and a nice little 60, I call it 71% move off that area. So that was a nice little play here. And now what are we looking for? Let's just try and analyze this and see where we're drifting to next. It looks like they want to come back and test the 786 one more time. So we might have another opportunity a little bit lower down. So there's a couple of ways you can play this. Let's pull a trend here first.
Now, are you going to play sort of a sell the news event with the game, or what are you thinking there?
I didn't actually think about it that far, but I suppose generally, once the game comes out, things sort of settle down. I think the main event here is going to be this Lambo event that's coming up, and then also these guys are burning tokens regularly. Yeah,
and that's the thing with these memes. When you got these big catalysts, it's trying to time. Just be kind of cautiously aware that there could be a lot of volatility around, those time periods, right?
Yeah, good point. Okay, so what can we watch now? So there's a couple of levels we can pay attention to, and everyone knows how much I love a 618. So what I've got here is I've got a 618 tying in with horizontals and trend. Okay, number one. So here we are. Here's zone number one. Okay, 618 horizontals and trend tying up right now for Baby Bonk. So for me, this is a speculative buy zone. This is a potential entry zone right now, actually. So this is what it would look like. Any moves into this trend. Okay, you're looking to pick up little buys in this area, and then we're looking for a 618 bounce. And why do we like this? Well, a couple of reasons. We've got a rising trend. So if we are staying bullish, we're going to ride this trend. We're going to play the trend game. So if we dip into this region, you're looking for a move off this trend and looking for a push up. And again, it doesn't mean we're going to all-time highs. It just means this is a reaction zone. This is an area where the market could step in, where the bulls could step in and start buying this particular token. So look at the weekly level, look at the rising trend. That is an area of interest. If this zone fails, it's the same old game. We lose that trend. We're looking for our reaction at our next level. And what is our next level? Our next level is the 50-day MA tying in with horizontals and the 786. So you can see this is an equally solid level. Look at this 50-day moving average pushing up here into this region. We've got horizontals and we've got a 786 fib. So we know if we lose the rising trend, we just be patient, let it ping the next zone. We know we're going to get a reaction there. We know we're going to get some kind of bounce. And then we're going to check it out at resistance. And maybe it's going to be bearish then after that. And if not, this thing starts going north. So we'll play it by ear. Let's just hit one reaction point at a time. Make sense?
I think the real question, Dylan, is when 618 tattoo? Just get a 618. That'd be killer.
I need that in my life. I've got so many tattoos. I might as well just add a 618. Fuck it. I think we need that. I think we need that. In fact,
I think you should document that. I think that people would love it. They'd eat it up.
We'll do a poll, guys. You can tell me if I need a WEN 618. Okay, that's cool. Maybe we'll get it on my chest. What do you think?
Just go all out. And then put on the tank outfit.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there's some of my business. I wanted to talk about one more. Okay, and I actually got two more here for you guys, and I'm still so bullish on this one. Okay, this 𝗪𝗘𝗘𝗫𝗦. Okay, I mean, some people call him Larry Fink, but we all know his name is 𝗪𝗘𝗘𝗫𝗦, and he's just so bullish at the moment, and he's appearing in the news spoon everywhere. He's got these RWA things going on, with his ETF. Then he's obviously the big man behind the BTC ETF. He's now talking about the ETH ETF, and now there's a meme. Okay, there's a meme about it. This.
Yeah, I mean, this one's pretty funny. It's pretty sticky too, right? Because I mean, they've got the BlackRock ticker, right? In addition, to calling it 𝗪𝗘𝗘𝗫𝗦. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's gonna be interesting to watch. It's gonna be a race between this and I think there's one called _BlackRock. So it's a couple different ones.
There's also another one. There's also another one called Fink, like legit Fink.
That's not surprising. Yeah.
So they went with the legit route, and they actually got taken out by the 𝗪𝗘𝗘𝗫𝗦 one.
Yeah,
which is so meme vibes, isn't it? It's like the least functional one actually starts working. So you won't believe this. I mean, I was speaking about this one a week ago. No, it was on. Yeah, it was. I think it was on Monday.
This narrative is not going away. It's only going to get stronger. I mean, I can't go on my timeline without people doing, here are the top 10 DPIN tokens that we think BlackRock is going to buy, and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, this one's going to be around for a while. So, strong narrative right now.
I mean, I was speaking about this at a $1.6 million market cap, like 2-3 days ago. Okay. Kyle obviously has been calling this one for ages as well. So credit to Kyle. I definitely don't want to take Kyle's credit here. I only brought this to you guys at $1.6 million market cap. Kyle's been talking about this one for a lot longer, but you can see the strength here in this thing. You can see what is going on here. The narrative is just right. 𝗪𝗘𝗘𝗫𝗦 is in the news. He's on news channels. He's doing all these things. He's in RWAs. And to me, it just makes sense. And we're now at a $15 million market cap. What is stopping this thing from just grinding and grinding and grinding as long as he's around?
Yeah, and the wallet counts exactly where you want to see it for this market cap. It's organic, no airdrops. That 3,500 to 5,000 range, when you're getting into the 10 to 20 million market cap range, it tells you that there's a lot of momentum right now. So love to see it.
So for those of you that are interested in BlackRock, okay, this is what's going on. This is 𝗪𝗘𝗘𝗫𝗦. It's BlackRock. Get the ticker correct, okay? Because there are a few others that are called, I think, 𝗪𝗘𝗘𝗫𝗦 or something. Remember, the ticker is BlackRock. What you need to watch here, okay? Big zones. You trade these exactly the same as your other coins. You be patient. You wait for your levels, and you need to understand when to get out and when to get in. And generally, you want to buy these things on any red, any sales into nice, solid support zones. That's where you're looking. These things generally get bought up quite quickly on any big dips. So number one level that you want to watch, this is a key level for anyone involved in 𝗪𝗘𝗘𝗫𝗦 here. BlackRock 0.015. This is a big zone, and I'll tell you why. If we start losing this zone and we start losing this trend, then we are potentially coming down to the next major area. So you got to watch this area very carefully. This is where you're buying 0.015. If we lose that, your next major zone is going to be 0.010. So these are your two big downside areas. Now, what are the bulls looking for? Well, you can see what's going on here. I've painted a little flag, so we can see it's brewing. Some kind of flag is brewing here on BlackRock right now. What do you want to look for? Once you see a break of this flag and a little bit of action here, I think the general traders, the breakout traders, will start getting involved in this thing. So they're all watching this flag start forming here. Once it breaks out there, I think we start pushing to our next level. And the next level to me is a $20 million market cap. So right now we're at 14, and I think we can quite quickly push up to 20, 25 million. And again, level by level, play it safe, watch your big areas. And I think this is a banger. It's got to be.
Yeah. It's all about finding the right narrative at the right time, right? And riding that trend when you can. until the next thing happens. And obviously, we don't know the next Elon tweet could totally send everybody else to somewhere else. But right now, BlackRock is about as strong as you get as a narrative right now.
Yeah, as long as Larry Pink's in the news and everyone's talking about him, okay, we're good to go. Now, it's the stage is going to be yours, because what I want to do here, I've lined up some of the tokens you want to talk about, and I've lined up some of the sites you mentioned. But basically, what the guys, let's just give them a tip. Okay, give them some information. How do you go about buying a token? What do you look for, and how do you do it if it's a small market cap?
Yeah, so I like to look at a lot of different metrics, right? I'm looking at social sentiment. Are they rating a lot on from Telegram? You know, is it something that is a strong narrative in the market right now? There's so many different metrics you could look at, but sometimes things are just hot, and you catch the trend, like we're talking about right now with BlackRock. So we're looking at, you know, like we're talking about, you know, breakout trading, things like that. But then there's what my favorite thing to do, which is finding everything that everybody says is dead. Oh, it's dead, it's rugged, it's gone. That's where I make most of my bread and butter. That's where I've made most of my money in this market, is looking at when things have completely bottomed out, when nobody's talking about them. Everybody's looking somewhere else. Your timeline is full of, you know, other things people are talking about. Well, whatever's going on in my timeline, that's when I'm looking at something else. And so we'll talk about a couple of those things as well. So we'll mix it up. We'll talk about a couple of those tokens that nobody's really talking about right now. That could be long-term, you know, things to start DCAing into. But also, we'll talk about a couple of things that are really hot as well that you can catch a ride on.
Okay. And just remember, for those of you watching now, we've got what we think could be the next Doge, okay, teed up. It's coming at the end. But again, 𝗕𝗦𝗧𝗀 is going to tell us if it's the appropriate time to unleash it. So follow 𝗕𝗦𝗧𝗀 there. Let us know what's happening there, right? What are we looking at?
We're at about...
𝗕𝗦𝗧𝗀 there. Let us know what's happening. Okay. Keep us posted, Ray. Okay.
He's cool. Researching with... Are those magic research goggles?
It's one of those AI... What are those things?
Do you have like 20 screens inside of there? What's going on?
Yeah, I got the Twitter, the Telegram, this going on.
Don't give yourself a seizure, okay? We need you to last the stream, all right?
I need to last the bull run.
Right? Do you still have the rat?
Don't get lost in the metaverse.
Ray, is that the plastic cover on there still? What's going on here?
Yeah, no, it's like a screen protector. Because they're glass.
Okay, I thought you still had the plastic on. I wanted to pull that off for you.
No. Okay. They need to step it up.
700.
He's totally watching Rich Housewives right now on that. He's
not even more than Housewives.
The Bachelor.
Yeah, Love is blind. Okay. Okay, let's go. Cool. Okay. What are we doing? Tip number 1. Go.
Well, you want to look at? Well, you want to start looking at some of these things?
Give us a.
Or you want some tips?
No, tell us how. Okay, you look for a coin. Number 1, you've told us. Okay, you look for the ones that are dead and buried. So you're going to tell us about some of those. Okay,
right.
Then you mentioned something about a DCA bot.
Yeah, so you know, not everybody is familiar. They're getting in this ecosystem for the first time. A lot of your viewers, they're learning how to trade on DeFi and DEXs and with Phantom Wallet or Soulflare Wallet. And so they're drinking from a fire hose right now. So not everybody knows how to install a Telegram bot or feel safe putting their money in a wallet that's, you know, not theirs, right? So one of the great things is Jupiter, which is the big exchange. It used to be just an aggregator, but now it's the largest DEX on Solana, has introduced a number of tools over the last few months. And they have limit order tool, but the DCA tool is what I want to talk about, because a lot of these micro caps that I'll be talking about that are sub 10 million, sub 5 million market caps, okay? One of the most difficult things is if you want to enter some of these things with weight, more than like $100, you want $500,000, you know, $1,000. The problem is twofold. Number one, if you just, you know, sit there and drop all of that all at once, right? That's, first of all, you're taking a risk because, you know, you don't know where it's going to go. You want to DCA over time. Also to attract scalpers. They may immediately just dump into your candle because there's auto trading bots that are looking at certain levels. So there's different ways. Obviously, you could sit there and like set a clock and remind yourself when to go in DCA. The nice thing with the DCA tool is you can literally set sell or buy orders, and you can set them in increments and how much you want to do. So if you want to set it and do $100 every hour or every 1 minute and DCA out, and this is also important because when you guys are trading these microcap charts and you want to take profit, one of the biggest mistakes that we see people make is they sort of panic. They see themselves in a big profit zone, especially with how fast these things can go 10x, right? All of a sudden you've got all this money and you're like, how do I take profit? Well, they sell everything and you end up losing 20% on slippage, and you hurt yourself, and then you hurt the chart as well, and maybe you're not taking all of your bags out, so you don't want to destroy the chart because you still have money in it. So this is a great tool. The DCA tool at 𝗬𝗢𝗎𝗪 will let you set, and you could do increments of like $100 every minute, and you could ladder out.
Yeah. So I mean, essentially what Spoon is telling you guys, if there's a small market cap and you try to buy, say, 2 SOL, for example, and you hit market buy, what's the slippage, Spoon? It's going to be like 10 or 12% sometimes.
It depends on the market cap. Yeah, it could be as little as 3%, but it could be as big as 10%. Yeah.
So you don't want to do that. If you don't have time to obviously it takes a long time to start buying small amounts in these tokens. So what you can do, instead of just hitting a market buy and pumping the candle up and actually paying too much at the time, exactly what Spoon is telling you here, DCA bot on Jupiter. Okay, so look at this platform here. So you were explaining now. So let's say we want to buy one of these tokens. So let's look at let's pull the contract out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there we go.
So set your top drop down to SOL, for example, right? Okay. And then you want to buy the token address. You could paste the token address, grab your token, right?
Okay. So I'm pasting the token address. There you go.
Right.
Confirm selection.
And then you can basically connect your wallet. It'll give you an amount at the top that you want to select. Like I want to DCA $1,000 or $2,000, whatever it is. And then you just select how frequently you want to do it and over what time. So you just calculate. If it's $1,000 and you do it over 10 orders or every minute, then in 10 minutes, it'll DCA $100 every minute, right?
Okay. Nice. So yeah, here you go, guys. You can see it says every minute. So you can also set it there every second, every hour, every day, every week. And you can choose, what you want and then how many orders. So if you're doing $1,000, you can do it in 2 orders. That's 500. But if it's a small cap, you maybe want to do 50 orders, something like that. And then we'll buy little bits at a time.
We have literally seen people that have had $200,000, worth of a token that's only at like 20 million market cap, and we've seen them use this DCA feature to DCA out over like a 3-day period without like having a huge impact on the chart. So it is, people have successfully using this obviously a lot. It's become really popular, and a great way, guys, to know if someone's DCAing, if you start seeing the same amount in your transaction history on like DEX tools or DEX screener, and every minute you see the same like 1 SOL from the same wallet, if you actually click on that wallet and you see that wallet start with the 3 letters DCA, that is a Jupiter DCA wallet. And
we've lost you there for a second, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you still here. You just went blank there for
sorry.
Okay, so that's great information, guys. Remember that if you're playing in these small caps, you don't want to market sell, you don't want to market buy, because also if you think you've got $1,000 worth of the token and you hit market sell, you probably only get $600, something along those lines. So very good piece of advice. Thanks for that. Okay, let's get into your next bit of juice here. Let's get into your first token. So we've got 5 tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 tokens. Okay, from the legend.
Yeah, okay. I about to get greedy on this first time.
Okay, let's go. Number 1. We got to talk about this. It's got to be dealt with.
Used car. Okay, so
tell me what's the deal here.
Now, for full transparency, I'm a volunteer. I'm a holder, so I work with the team on some stuff here, okay? But that also means I have some great inside information for everybody today as well. This is probably one of the most established tokens. Number 1, there's really no other car meta token out there. Number 2, it was launched in December. It went up to like 60 million market cap. Okay. It then did a second leg that ran up to like 30 mil. And now it's back into its sort of second accumulation phase right now. Okay. And so one of the things that I'm interested in accumulating at these levels is there's a few different reasons. Number one, it's one of the only tokens that has basically enough TVL. In other words, basically, what does that mean? It means it's integrated so heavily with Solana DeFi through their partnerships, like with 𝗦𝗬𝗓𝗪 and Camino, that liquidity providers love this token. So they're using it to put in liquidity pools, right? Which means it doesn't move as fast as a new meme token, but that's maybe seen as a downside. But the upside is like professional swing traders love this thing, so it's always got volume. And it also means they were able to partner with a company called 𝗪𝗘𝗓𝗪, and 𝗪𝗘𝗓𝗪 is a lending platform. They started with NFTs, and now you can take like your 𝗪𝗧, your Bonk, your big meme coins, all right, but also used car, which is now only at what, like sub 7 million market cap. You could buy at the bottom here, which is a relatively safe zone. You could go to 𝗪𝗘𝗓𝗪, you could borrow Solana against your used car as collateral for a 7-day lockup. And then if you want to go pay it back early, you can as well. And so basically what I've been doing is you could buy these at the lows. You could get some Solana so you can get in early, right? And low. So you're looking, okay, there's pretty much only upside here potentially. And then I'm also going to get some Solana that I could go and jump into something that I'm pretty confident I can at least get a 2x, take a quick profit, and then go pay my loan back. So obviously do this smartly. This is degenerate as all get out.
This is the biggest degen play in history.
Be smart about how you do this, guys. Like, first of all, if you're going to do this, always have enough money to pay your loan already in your wallet. Do not do this if you can't pay the loan.
So, I mean, you're effectively leverage trading your spot meme trades. Things. So, I mean, it is quite a nice little feature. But yeah, guys, be careful out there. This is the site. Texture.finance. Okay?
This is brand new. Yeah. And it's mostly higher market cap tokens. So this is kind of a cool thing that you could get in super early with used car, but also leverage it and use it as collateral. The second thing that I really like about used car is over 30 of their holders have gone out and bought 2001 Civics and are making content with it. Like they're putting vinyl stickers on it. Also, it's going to be highlighted at this conference. Have you ever heard about this conference, MemeCon? It's brand new. There's going to be this conference called MemeCon in Lisbon, Portugal in May. They're letting them drive. One of the holders has a 2001 Civic. He's driving like from England with all these vinyl stickers of Solana, NFTs and stuff. They're letting him drive it into the conference center, and they're going to showcase the 2001 used car in the conference center. So they're doing crazy stuff. So it's not like it's just one of these things where it's like, okay, it's a meme and the dev is kind of quiet, or the community, no, they're doing all sorts of catalysts. They have like 2 anthems by 90s hip hop artists on Spotify. They just do fun stuff with it. So it's just a fun meme.
Okay, so guys, here you go. So now you know the story. They're effectively allowing you to leverage against this thing as well. What can you do here? What is the plan if you're looking for a trade? Well, there's a couple of options here at the moment. So most importantly, the big dog for me. And I mean, this is a huge area now. This 0.011. This is a massive zone here for used cars. So mark this one, 0.011. If you get that opportunity, that is a buy. Look at these horizontals here. Look at the support here. And by the time it gets there, that market cap's probably about 4 million, or give or take, maybe even less, maybe 3 million in that region.
And look at that last bounce. It touched what, 3.8, and then just skyrocketed up to like what, 30?
So this is why this is huge, Spoon. I mean, this is, if you get a buy down in that zone, that move was 250%. Okay, so if you get that opportunity lower down, obviously I love that, but we can't bank on that happening. The next option Okay, we're going to play the break of trend. Okay, very simple game here. When you see it start sticking its nose out there, you can start fiddling around, nibbling at some positions, and then the real test is going to be on some kind of pullback there onto support. Then you can really start getting involved here. So we've got a nice little trend in place. So eyes on this trend here. You can start nibbling on a trend break. Look out for the reaction. You can see what I've pictured here, or what I've painted here for you guys. You expect a reaction there, and then maybe a little buy on that pullback, and then nice little move. Nice little move coming, and 7 million market cap now. You know, these things can go to what, 20, 30 in the right conditions, I would say.
Yeah, and you have to remember, this is one of the original memes that came out right as things were popping off, and they're heavily embedded at this point in the ecosystem. So that's why I bring it up. I'm not going to bring up stuff to you guys in your audience that is like a one-day trend, or somebody made a funny freeze or an Elon tweet that people forget about tomorrow. I think this is something that's going to be around for a while, and the team has a professional video editing team that pumps out content constantly. So I just really like a lot of things about this one.
Okay, nice. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one I've got here, 𝗪𝗠𝗏.
Yes. So TLDR, what's the quick way to say this? Well, the German Pepe. I mean, just look at it. The dev is hilarious. He calls himself the Pope. It's all original content. They do like 10 tweets a day. They're in everybody's replies. It's just hilarious, and it's created a huge cult following. And I love cults in memes, because cults mean that they ride through the downsides, right? You can't kill a meme if it has a cult following. It will always be around. And this is something that
we've lost you for a sec.
Yeah, but this is a great level to start looking at it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense here. So this is where you're going to be nibbling. You can see these lows. You can see these are the lows, okay, for 𝗪𝗠𝗏. These are your lows right here. It's printed here for you guys. You can see these areas. If you start losing these lows, this thing is totally fucked. And, for me, this is a nice little area here. Anything down to the 0.23, anything in this region is good. Other than that, we've got a nice little trend again. You can play the trend game. The minute we get a nice aggressive pop of that trend, you want a nice clean break, though. You want to see this candle start pumping here, and that's going to maybe indicate that there's some action there for you guys. So look out for that. Nice little levels lower down, 0.23, and then play the trend break potentially as well. Just look out for that horizontal. You want to just make sure that when you retest, you're going to hold those horizontals. Okay, nice one. That's a good one. What else you got here? We've got 3 more in our list.
Yeah. So what do we got next, Dylan?
𝗕𝗢𝗄. Now, I saw you talking about this one on Twitter.
Okay, guys. So the first 2 were obviously ones that, have been sleeping for a little bit. They've entered accumulation. There are some great, like a good watch list, right? Like start for looking at for entry. This, guys, is probably one of the ones I'm most excited about right now. The dev is doxed. He runs a YouTube channel. He created this initially just as a demonstration to show people how these tokens are created. And I think it hit like 1 million market cap. It went to sleep. Everybody thought it was dead, and it just came alive in the last couple days organically. Most of the people in the Telegram are people from watching his YouTube, or people that are not traditionally your Solana degens. But now that's broken 10 million market cap. It's in the 3 million range. It actually trended number 8 on CoinMarketCap briefly. This is now becoming a serious player, okay? This is one that, instead of looking at this and saying, oh, it's already pumped, I'm exit liquidity. No, you're still early, guys. This is one to really pay attention to. I think this, to me, gives WIF vibes. I was in WIF at 50,000 market cap. I saw how people ignored it until it was 10 or 20 million, and then only then was Twitter talking about it. We're still early. Ignore the market cap. 10 million is nothing.
Look, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, this is the first hamster on the internet.
Could this be the start of the hamster meta now? We might start seeing hamster tokens spinning off here very quickly.
Fuck. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely an interesting one. Definitely one you want to pay attention to. So again, and it's trading nicely. It's trading on these fibs. Look at
You'll love it. It's hitting the fibs like clockwork.
Look at that perfection. Look at this onto a 382. I mean,
it's a beautiful
you don't
chart.
need much to get me excited, but okay, that looks pretty good to me. So you've got a clean area here, guys, on this hammy. Here's a clean zone for you, 0.087. Okay, that is your support market. That is what you're watching. If you're looking for buys deeper down, you want to pick up any weakness into these areas. You know you're going to get these degens that hit market sell because they don't know the tricks. Okay, and what happens? They send that candle down, but these generally would then get bought up.
Oh, and the thing, Dylan, that makes me very bullish about this token is in those circles, within that range over the last maybe 12, 14 hours, we've had about $60,000 worth of sales that were done in, like, we had someone sell $40,000 all at once, $10,000 all at once. A lot of these big wallets have cleaned out. They're gone. That sell pressure is gone now. And not only that, when they dumped it all at once, the candles got eaten in a minute. So there's a lot of momentum right now.
This is a good comment, and this is actually a good lesson for everybody. When you're looking for a meme coin, number one, well, not number one, there's multiple things you want to look for, but look at the holders. Okay, look at the spread of the holders. If the main holders say holding like 15% of the tokens, you're in danger of a rug. But if it's getting more and more decentralized and you've got less and less holders and it's spread like 4%, 5%, that type of thing, that is something you can look forward to. And a lot of these guys in the early days, they start aping in early, they see the profits and then they exit and then they're done. And that's really what you want to see. You want to shake out those red candles early and get rid of the big holders that suddenly think they've hit the jackpot, and then they left behind. So that is one of the things I look forward to, or I look for in these tokens. What's a nice balance for you, Spoon, when you're looking at the holders?
No, that's it. And the problem is these people are getting better and better at hiding their supply across multiple wallets. So, you can't, it used to be you go to 𝗏𝗏𝗏, you could pick it out, right? You could see the big 2, 3, 4% wallets. Well, people are getting wise to that. So they're spreading them out. Now there's different tools in Telegram you could use to try and sniff out bubble charts and stuff of wallets, but it's hard to say, right? But when you see people dumping $10,000, $12,000 clips all at once, for one, that tells me these are not professional traders. These are people that have more money than they realize they could make, and they're just trying to capture that profit very quickly, and they're losing money on slippage, right? But the other thing about it is how quickly does the community or the chart respond to those dumps? Does it get scared? Does it create scared money and people start selling off? Or is it the opposite? Do people start buying like crazy? And right now, people are buying those dips like crazy.
Okay, here's another one. Let's move on to the next one. This one is called 𝗪𝗔𝗘𝗫.
Yes, 𝗪𝗔𝗘𝗫. Now, this one is also one that I am very intimate with the team. The dev is still around, but he sort of handed all the keys to the community. One of the things that is really cool about this token is it's not some gimmick, right? The Arab, now we know it's the oil cats, the Arab oil cat, and he's rich, and it's a funny meme, right? It's bigger than this. Ninja, who's their community leader, he is a self-made young man. He's Saudi. He's made his wealth in entrepreneurship, and it has a large community that's based in the Middle East. I have some inside information for your audience. I know for a fact, I've talked to Ninja, they are actually organizing a onboarding party with some of his wealthiest Saudi friends on a yacht in the next week or so to basically show them how to buy Arab token. All right. And the only problem with that is we've had to explain to these guys that you can't just throw $100,000 at a 2 million market cap token. We're actually having to show them how to DCA in because they don't understand. These guys hold like millions of dollars of Bitcoin, and they're like, please just let me throw $100,000 in. And we're like, no, you can't do that.
Okay, so he's going to manage that for them, and they want to invest in 𝗪𝗔𝗘𝗫.
Right, exactly. So I love the fact that it's authentic, right? It's not some gimmick where it's some white guy from Lithuania running an Arab token, right? This is legit.
Okay, and do they have anything coming, or is it just right now? It's just a meme. I mean,
No,
are
they're
they
going to be doing
releasing
something. They're talking about buying up a bunch of validators on Solana and some other chains, and a bunch of other catalysts that I don't have permission to talk about yet. But these guys are going to be very busy, and they will have a videographer with them on the yacht. So they're going to create some content, put it out so that people can see what they've been up to.
Okay, cool. Well, here we go. These are your areas you want to be watching. These are areas of resistance you need to take note of. Yeah, 0.033. So look out for resistance over there. Pay attention to that. Look for that reaction there. Okay, there's another one, 0.041. Look out for that guy. And then big supports. What are you watching? I mean, what do you want to buy on? So any weakness you see here is probably an area to look at. Okay, and just monitor this. Monitor the market cap. It's very small market cap, so don't ape into this. Don't be the guy that's buying like 5 SOL in one go on these type of things, because you're just going to end up paying more than what you should. So small little buys in these types of things, small little moves here, and then let it kick on.
And again, I like bringing these charts to your audience because this one has also gone through 2 legs now. It went through its first blow off top. It hit 4 million. It went down to 140 million or 40,000 market cap. All right. If you had bought in at 140,000 market cap when everybody thought it was dead, it ran up to 10 million in like a couple days. Now it's shaken out even more whales. So it's re-diversified, re-accumulating. There's less of those big wallets now. They've been shaken out, less sell pressure, less chance of just getting dumped on now. And so this is a great buy opportunity, in my opinion.
Okay, there you go, guys. You've got it. Arab Cat. Looks like fun. Okay, there's 𝗪𝗔𝗘𝗫𝗫. Okay, and then your last one before we do the new Doge, the new Doge replacement. This is now, before we talk about that, this is Dolan. What's the story here? $4 million market cap. I see Donald Duck on it. What's happening here?
Right. So Dolan was a meme initially created by the artist to make fun of 4chan memes. And then 4chan adopted it as one of their mainstream memes. And so it's actually a very popular meme on 4chan. Okay. Now, the dev left, the community took it over. But what really got me interested in the token was that about a week or so ago, the original artist joined the team, the token team, and is active in the Telegram and is making new content. Token, which is,
there you go.
Yeah, now you have the original artist with the token, which is very rare. A lot of times, you know, the artists are kind of weirded out by crypto or whatever. He's fully embracing the token. So they have the original artist to create new content for them, and they have some catalysts that they've told me about that I'm very excited that are coming down in the future. So this is far from anything that's going to die. If anything, they're just getting started.
Okay, so small little market cap, 4 million. Areas of interest to watch. Well, number one, you've got a trend in play now. So this is area number one that's interesting. Okay, you've got horizontals and a trend in play here for you guys. And then the next level, where do you buy on weakness? You want to try and identify big support areas where these things can potentially go to, where you can get nice little buys and to really take advantage of these things pump. Remember, these moves on these guys are very big. And, you know, if you're patient enough and you get a nice little low entry, you can get some huge moves here. So if you do get a dip down into the 0.016, 0.017, there's a potential 136% bounce there for you guys as well. And then from the zone, if it chooses to bounce here on this horizontal trend, if it wants to bounce here, 74% potential upside move here before we start hitting resistance. Okay, let's hit the big one, the one we've been waiting for. Okay, tell me some background about this thing before we announce it. Why do you believe that this is the next Doge?
So believe it or not, I'm actually quite conservative. I don't like to give price predictions. I'm not one to be very, wag me. And I'm an analytical guy. I work in data. I work with data every day. It's what I do for a living when I'm not memeing. And all the metrics and the narratives point to this to being something very, very big. And so I'm willing to put it out there that I believe this could be the next Doge, as you put it, or the next big thing that's being slept on. And some of the reasons why: number one, it was the very first meme token created on Doge chain. So it's a meme token that's a dog on a dog coin. Okay, number one, very hard to ignore that. Number two, it was the first one to get listed on an exchange. It's listed on MEXC, which makes it a lot more accessible because not many people know how to get on Doge chain or swap on MetaMask and do all of these things, right? So it's accessible now, okay? And number three, look at where Doge is about to head. This is forming a catalyst right now, okay? The timing on this could not be better. So it's making me very, very excited about the prospects for this particular token.
Okay, well, let's without further ado, what kind of name is this? Omnom.
Omnom, yes.
I mean, is that a dog?
It's a dog. It looks like he's just going to eat all the memes. I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to eat all the meme tokens this cycle. I think, you know, with all of these things that could be left in the dust when this thing gets finished with the end of the by the end of the cycle here. Omnom is, like I said, the first meme token on Doge. I started to pick it up about a week ago. The funny thing is I saw a tweet about it from a friend, and I searched. One of the first thing I do is search that cash tag. Only one guy was talking about it, evangelizing it like crazy, and he made some really good data-centric points about how Doge moves, how it moves with Doge, and the chart made sense. The way it was moving made sense. It wasn't just about the narrative. It was also adding up in terms of the price action. The price action was moving like this guy said it would. And so once I started diving more deep into it, I started to accumulate between like 5 and 7 million market cap. Okay. And then boom, it launched to 70 million. It's consolidating right now. And I think it's consolidating because Doge is obviously moving right now. But as soon as Doge takes a pause, this thing could really take off, guys.
I mean, this is the 8-hour chart, okay? When 20th of March, let's just look at the size of this move here. So there's definitely been some interest here in the last week. So 1,000% up. Okay.
Right, a lot of people be scared by this. They'll be like, oh, I'm buying the top. Is it the top? And there's a lot of arguments to be made that, yes, I think in an oversaturated Solana market, you would look at a chart like this and you would hesitate. You'd say, you know what? There's so many different memes that people could rotate to. The thing is, this is in a class of its own. It's on Doge coin. It's on an exchange. It's the only one that I know of that's a meme token on the Doge chain that's on an exchange. And the volume continues to increase. All the metrics seem to me to point to green right now. And so I actually have been accumulating in this consolidation zone as well.
Okay, well, here we go. Here's some levels for you guys. So if you missed that first buy, just notable here, this was the 50-day moving average. Look at that reaction off the 50-day when it came back to visit it. So what we have seen many times, over the last couple of months is these altcoins and everything love this 50-day MA. So always keep the 50-day MA on your chart. Always keep that around. Sometimes these guys like to come back and visit these type of areas. So always have this 50-day moving average on your charts, whatever time frame you're watching. I like to use the 50-day. So regardless of what my time frame is, I'm using the 50-day. Where do I like this Omnom? Well, you can see what's going on here. We've got a nice little downtrend in play at the moment. What does that tell us? It tells us we could be in a little move lower down. For the next while, we want to look at some big areas of interest here. Number one, there's multiple zeros here, 1.5. Okay, so that's area number one. Multiple zeros, 1.5, and a little bit lower down, multiple zeros, 1.0. Okay, so these are all areas now of interest for you. If you do get these moves, these are DCA zones, these are buy zones for you. That's where you want to be looking to pick these type of things up. Other than that, you're looking for trend breaks. So remember, if you're looking for trend breaks, you can dial in a little bit more and just get a little picture there as to what's going on. And then if you do blow that trend, then you can start riding the momentum, rather than trying to then just grab on some decent areas. So what I would do here, keep this on your regular watch list. Watch these key levels here. Any weakness onto these zones, DCA buys for you guys. If we do get a trend break, then you climb into that momentum. Right, guys, don't forget, go follow the legend Spoon on Twitter. Let's just show them one more time your Twitter account there. There we are. There's the legend. Okay, so Spoon SP, that's 00 N1 kiss. It's a bit of a trick, but there's the man. Spoon, thanks for hanging. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so
Really
much.
good knowledge here, and yeah, thanks for that. And we'll have you on again. So in a couple of weeks, we'll do a recap. We'll see where we are on some of these tokens, see how we're going, and yeah, hopefully some more info coming from you. So thanks for hanging, Spoon.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Okay, guys, you've got it. Tomorrow, no show for me tomorrow. Sniper Club, I am doing my live session for you guys midday. So I will be here for you guys, but there's no show for me tomorrow. Banter is off on Easter vacation or Easter holidays and things like that. So I'm not here tomorrow, Friday, and I'm not here Sunday night, but I'm back on Monday for you guys. Hopefully we get a nice green weekend now. Hopefully these options, closeouts and things like that are generous to us. If there's anything amazing happening, I'll update you guys on my Twitter account. So make sure you follow me on Twitter. And most importantly, if you're still watching, like and subscribe if you like the content. Hit the like button, hit the bell, all those types of things. Guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. I'm looking for my exit screen. There it is. Later.